So today we are talking about a very special topic. This topic, it came in as a vision or...
It's a vision.
Yes.
But it was a vision when I was sleeping.
Yes, it came in as a vision to Mkulu, where the ancestors, came to Mkulu and then they told them to touch on this topic. And this topic is going to be very special. Probably, some of you guys, need to know this. So, sikhuluma ngemisebenzi yokuhlaba, and we're talking about when to use Impepho, the right use for Impepho. Yes. Am I putting it in the correct way?
Correct. Sometimes, Paul, when you light Impepho,
yes,
and it doesn't light up,
yes,
and people don't believe me, but it does happen. There's a problem there. There's a problem with your connection with your ancestors.
Also, the candles, like when they don't switch on.
Yeah. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Not everyone handles Impepho ekhaya. That is critical.
Yes.
There are rules around that.
Because like they say that women are not supposed to switch on Impepho.
Yes. Why am I saying with the ancestors will choose this person? I'm saying this because if you're the wrong person to burn Impepho, things will go wrong. Others, they react immediately. And mundu ope, come out blood,
yes.
Nosebleed. And like a really bad nosebleed. Then you know you're not supposed to touch Impepho. Ugcine kwa wena ubangwa amadlozi. Unga understand ukuthi akubanga kwenze njani. Now, one of the things you see mawubangwa amadlozi is that every time things are about to go well for you, they just pull back.
Sanbonani, Dumelang, Afsheni, it's a boy, Upolo Mahlasela, Uhlasi, Omate, Umabele, Sijamota Kameleng, Umshana, Kakabe, Umanzini, Ukokmoli. Man, I'm calling upon my people always, man, because it's like I'm literally co-signing on this introduction. I'm so excited about this episode. We are on episode number 11. We just came back from another dope episode with Thabo from Simos Africa Institute. Man, it was amazing, Mkulu, man.
Yeah, it was.
Mkulu, are you good, man?
Yeah, I'm good. Sanbonani, Sorozan Bantubagiti, Usishilo, Mwaba Umatendra, Baikulu, Nhamba Nokoba, Machanga Samahle, Mbambo, Makezangobis.
Yeah.
I hope everyone is good. I'm still on a high from that episode that Paul is talking about. It was quite informative and it was quite exciting for me. It's very rare to meet a mind that's like yours. So that's how I felt about Thabo. In fact, I actually wished we could talk a bit more because outside recording, there were many things that we were talking about, spirit-related stuff, and it was like he's very knowledgeable. Yeah. So sometimes when we meet people like that, we want to feed into each other. Yeah. So it was awesome.
And I saw you because that's what you guys were doing. You were like feeding off each other. You were sharing information.
Yes.
It's like it's like Mkulu. Kate avusela something in you. Like he was like every time when he's gonna say something, maybe about a particular topic, you'll have like a light bulb moment. Oh yes, and then you add on that, and then it becomes that whole time, like deep conversation.
So sometimes people think Uguti, us as a spiritually gifted people, we disagree a lot. It happens that we don't see eye to eye on some matters. For example, it's no secret that I completely disagree with Brother Enigma.
I
completely disagree with him. But to meet someone like Thabo was refreshing to me. Yeah. And to have him on the podcast, I can't wait to have him again. Because awesome. I spoke to him and said, I need us to have another episode where we're just going to go all out. Sometimes before we start the podcast, Paul and everyone on the set, including my wife, they would always pull me aside and they'll be like, Mkulu, don't go too far. Don't go too deep.
Don't go too deep.
Yeah. And when Thabo started in the last episode, I was like, I wonder how they feel because he's going deep and no one can stop him. So it was quite an episode. I did touch a bit, but I still have that fear, which I mustn't go deep. So when I spoke about my fractal what, and I was like, I wonder what my wife is gonna say. Boy's gonna be like, but love, why did you go deep?
Yeah.
What is fractal mathematics now?
Yeah.
And I'm like, we just had someone speaking about numerology, and he was speaking about astrology.
Yeah.
These are things I don't touch on, which are there, that exist, but he's an expert on it. So it was quite fascinating for me. It really was.
It was amazing. And deeper you went, Mkhule.
Yeah.
Deeper, I saw you, like I was like looking at you the whole entire time, because some of the things that he mentions, some of the things that you mentioned me, like some of the things that you teach me, the blue and yellow candle,
Yes.
like mathematics, everything that you teach me, Mkhulu, he spoke about. But, we're definitely going to do like a part 2 of that one.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can do more and more episodes. Like it would be dope to have him, monthly on a monthly basis. And it's like very good for us to have people who are educated, who know more about the spiritual stuff, like Thabo.
Yeah.
Because we are, for me personally, as a platform, I'm manifesting for us to have more people like him. I still say to this day, we must have Umkhulu Tsingisa, we must have Joshua
Mawubangwa.
Yes, like we must have all these guys, Umkhulu Dineo, because it's some of the people that we watch, VVO, like we must, because this podcast is mainly about being an institute, for like some sort of like an institute for being like a library of spiritual stuff.
Correct.
Keeping them. And this is how we're starting for now, using this channel and platform. The next thing that we're going to do is books.
Yes.
The next thing we're going to do is to build a whole true institute just to keep all this, information about spiritual stuff. Because of the purpose of this podcast was to really discuss matters that concern the spirit. Because really and truly, the spirit matters.
Correct.
Yes.
So imagine if we could write a book with Thabo. Yeah, man.
It's going to be amazing. But you spoke about, Enigma. Like, why do you have a problem with that?
I don't have a problem with him per se.
Yeah.
But I have a problem with people who preach the spirit of fear.
Yeah.
If you don't do this, you're going to go to hell. If you don't do that, you're going to go to hell. I normally watch this guy called Darius Wright.
Yes.
He's an Australian that always does out-of-the-body experiences.
Yes.
He literally does it himself. And he speaks a lot about how everything that we see is a construct, which is linked to what I was talking about, that Billy Carson has written a book about, this being a fractal holographic matrix universe.
Yeah.
So Darius Wright, he says, when you come out of your body and you go through the ether, you'll get to a level that is nothing but water. And then you go through and then you get to a point where you are outside the construct.
Yes.
If you read the Bible and how it explains the ether and how it explains the level of water, you will see that, oh my gosh, the Bible was right. It is speaking about creation. And indeed, this is a creation, which is a construct. So the reason why I'm saying this is because people who preach in a spirit of fear, they're creating this system of belief. And when you believe in something strongly enough, it will manifest.
Yeah.
And indeed, everything Enigma is teaching about will end up being a reality when you die that you'll end up in. If you rise above and learn to ascend spiritually, you will get closer to the spark that is God, the source. So one of my favorite verses in the Bible is on Timothy, 2 Timothy 1, verse 7. God did not make you in the spirit of fear. So why are you teaching people fear? I mean, I always say, just like what Thabo was saying in the last episode, if you want the truth, go inside. The Bible has been redacted so many times. The Quran has been redacted so many times that you'll find it hard to get the truth. I mean, I always explain to you that the Bible is missing 19 books. The Bible that's complete is in Ethiopia. So if you want the truth, read the Bible with a spirit of discernment. I mean, he says that the Bible on Leviticus says we mustn't cut our hair on the sides. And it does. It does. But why does it talk about that? So sometimes people, they will quote the verse in the Bible and not give you context. and not tell you where that was coming from. The context behind that was that at the time, God was launching a campaign of getting people to stop paganism, to stop praying to other gods. So there was a god at the time, and it was Ra, that people prayed to. And one of the signs to show that you are praying to Ra was to cut your hair on the side. So,
oh, yes.
Right? So
wow.
One of the rules that were given in Leviticus was that you mustn't cut your hair.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that if you're cutting your hair nowadays, are you praying to Ra, Paul?
No.
Because we're not to Namashade.
I'm not alone on this. Hey, what is this, bro?
So are you now going to go to hell?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? No, guys. Apostle Paul, Saint Paul, speaks about the importance of grooming, proper grooming. He speaks about hair. So when you look at it and pick at the Bible like that, we can argue about it the whole day. The AVB back in the 80s, they used to really believe that black people are the blasphemy to God. And they would use the Bible to quote verses in the Bible to say why black people should be enslaved under apartheid. So you can use the Bible anyhow, but don't use it to put fear in people. Rather teach people to find Jesus themselves. I have met Jesus, and he is not the Jesus that Pastor Enigma is talking about. I'm sorry. I am
Is
so
it black? Is it black?
sorry. No, he's Middle Eastern.
Oh.
But he's Jesus. He can come to you in any form. It doesn't matter. But listen to the message the Spirit is teaching to you.
Yeah.
How can I go around spewing fear in people who go to, hey, if you're wearing pants in your sleep, and Clifford, you die because you're wearing pajamas. You are done for. It just doesn't. I don't even know why we are talking about.
I can see it's even frustrating.
It is. It's just teach people to find Jesus themselves.
Yeah.
Teach people to find Buddha themselves, Krishna themselves, their own way, their own path that links them to spirit. It shouldn't be fearful. If once it's fearful, something is not right. God is not about fear. God is about love.
Yes.
I don't know how to do the heart. Sorry. There. This is what God is about.
Yes.
God is about love. When you start talking about fear, then you're not talking about God anymore.
Yes.
You know? I'm not saying this hope doesn't exist. Hell does exist as a construct that you go to if you don't vibrate correctly. Then you'll end up there. But you can come out anytime. There's people who go on record who have died and came back.
Yes.
And they went to hell and they saw hell because they led bad lives. And because they vibrated lower. Tabo spoke about vibrations in the last episode. If you are vibrating lower and you are always doing bad things, you'll end up in a construct of hell. But the moment you go on your knees and you appeal to God and you rise above and you vibrate higher, you'll come out. You'll come out. So there's many people, go on YouTube, look at near-death experiences and see people who will tell you, yes, I
watched those documentaries.
I died and I went to hell and I came back. Others, I died and went to heaven. And for some reason, heaven is always different for different people.
Yeah, true. But you know, Mkulu, like with those kind of documentaries, like of the body experiences, like they are so hard to believe. Like the one for Pastor Boro. Also, Pastor Boro did say, hey, I went to heaven. If you guys want to see a picture of me and Jesus in heaven, you must pay this amount of money. It's so hard to believe, Mkulu.
Okay. Let us use logic for a second.
Yeah.
Let's not use spirit. When you die and you become a soul, Ukubamoya, right?
Yes.
You are now in another realm, in another environment, not this earth. They say this is the fourth dimension, and when you die, you rise to the fifth dimension, where you are able to experience time differently and experience many things differently. Why would you be able to bring a cell phone there? A cell phone which comes from the physical dimension, which is the fourth dimension. How, in God's name, are you going to come back with pictures from the fifth dimension?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
How are you going to tell me that in heaven, when people eat and they hit their plates, they don't make noise? Why are you eating in heaven? What are you eating? Since when do you need nourishment of food, physical food? Because that comes from the physical environment. That side, you don't need to eat anymore. You're dead. You are a soul. So all of these things, people are naked there. People are eating and the plates are not making noise. Guys, what are you eating? What? No, offense. Anyways, can we just move to today's episode?
Yeah, you're right.
Because this is just
okay. Before we move, though,
to me.
Yeah, I have one video though of Pastor Enigma.
Oh my God!
I think that he's speaking the truth. Like you guys, okay, let me play it for you guys. You guys listen to it and like we'll talk about it. You guys will tell me what you guys think, right? I find this song to be true, man. Listen to this.
Malwande is falling asleep already.
He's gonna wake up.
Ubushe is falling asleep.
Listen.
Umzimba womfazi umzimba for her husband. Angithi iBhayibheli ithi uNkulunkulu wadala uEva amdalela uAdam. So ke uNkulunkulu udala abafazi for amadoda. So uma mina ngishada umfazi wami ngiyi-1. So umfazi wami kufanele ukuthi ajabulise mina. Angagqoki impahla ezojabulisa abanye amadoda estradini.
Yes, sir. What do you say about that? The truth hurts. The truth hurts. What do you say about that?
Please can you explain to me what is he saying? Adam, whoever was the creation story. Yes. I've tried to show you that it's linked very much to the Sumerian tablets.
Yeah.
And but anyways, if you go and read the Kabbalah, which is the books that talk about Jewish mythology, you will learn there that Eve was not the first woman.
Yes, true.
According
yes,
to that.
Yes.
The first woman was Lilith. Lilith.
Okay.
And Lilith was not created from Adam's rib. She was created as man and woman. Then
is it Genesis 1?
Yeah, it's in Genesis 1.
Yes.
There's a twist there where you learn it says God created man and woman. Then when you go on, it says God created man, then woman from. So it's like, wait, where's the disconnect here?
The way I know it says God created man, and then he said to them, Zalanani Nande. That part.
No, but I'm looking for that part where it explains who was created first.
So most versions, especially like the New Testament, like they don't touch on that part a lot. Like it only says God, then God said, let us create man in our own image, so like they can multiply the earth and have dominion over this.
Go into King James version. You'll see what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is the Jewish mythology says that there was Lilith first. And Lilith refused to submit herself to men, to Adam.
Yeah.
Then God banished her out of Eden. And then Lilith became a demon, a mother of demons.
We're going to touch on that part.
So it's a long story. Because others say Lilith then dated Lucifer, but others say no, it wasn't Lucifer. It was a very scary angel called Samael. That angel scares the hell out of me. Anyways,
it's fine, cool. Guys.
So read about that and then understand why Lilith was taken out as a woman who didn't want to submit. Then God created Eve from a man's rib. Eve agreed to submit herself to Adam. Then God said, Zalana.
I get you. Guys, we need to do a lot of research about this spiritual stuff. It's really important for us to know these things. But at least we have a walking library. You're literally like a walking library. Cool. Shout out to you, man. My man.
Left, mina ngumzulu, mina angishayi ngo left, left low.
Right.
Sanda sokungola lesi.
Yes, sir. So today we are talking about a very special topic. This topic, it came in as a vision or...
It's a vision.
Yes.
But it was a vision when I was sleeping.
Yes, it came in as a vision to Mkulu, where the ancestors, came to Mkulu and then they told them to touch on this topic. And this topic is going to be very special. Probably, some of you guys, need to know this. So, sikhuluma ngemisebenzi yokuhlaba, and we're talking about when to use Impepho, the right use for Impepho.
Yes.
Am I putting it in the correct way?
Correct.
Please tell us about your dream first before we enter into the topic, just to give people a bit of context.
Okay, all right. I'm not going to say the rest of the dream that was pertaining to you because that's confidential.
Yes.
But I dreamt that me and my wife came to your place at Dube to come and do a podcast.
Yes.
I'm still analyzing the part where there were many people there who were bikers. And they were there just in the yard, like a lot of them. But eventually they became my audiences. And when I got to the house, I started hearing a voice saying, Mkulu, your next episode, please teach people ukuthi imbuzi ihlabwa makunjani. When do you slaughter? For what purposes do you slaughter? And they even went and gave me like 3 categories. Guti, you slaughter when you are announcing mawubangwa.
Yes.
You slaughter if you doing like a ritual, like umngwabo, umshado, or what. The third one was you slaughter when ubonga.
Ukubonga, yes.
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 But I also need to make sure that I make people understand that Ukubonga and saying thank you, you need to be careful because when you say it to ancestors, it's like you are saying you are done now, you are okay, you are happy, I'm thankful, right.
No.
Then you don't understand why your blessings stop. When you made a Thanksgiving years ago and you said thank you guys, I'm so happy.
Right, man.
Yeah. So I wanted to explain this. So Zulus use goats, and Xhosas, Tswanas, some Sothos, but most Sothos use goat. But most Xhosas and most Tswanas use sheep.
Yeah.
So you go according to your culture. You go according to whether you are Pedi, whether you are Venda, whatever you are, whatever animal that you guys use at home, that's what you slaughter. So let's start from the beginning. You are born, and then when you are born, they do an announcement. They will use a goat or a sheep. Then you grow up and you start to get coming of age functions. Now, la announcer Paul, and we'll explain this more on the next episode because in our culture we speak more about how to raise a female child, but we never speak about how to raise a boy child.
Yes.
Culturally, except in Xhosas and Vendas and Ndebeles and I think some Sothos who go to the mountain.
Yeah.
But other cultures have forgotten the culture and the art of raising a boy child because it's very important. That's why we have so many boys who are lost, who don't know what to do. Anyways, so we are kula umntwana. And now you go to Msamo, you use the goat as well there.
Yes.
Then umntwana finishes school and does very well in school. Again, you want to do a Thanksgiving, you can use a goat or a sheep. Then umntwana athola umsebenzi. Then umntwana wants to do a Thanksgiving to amadlozi for umsebenzi.
Yeah.
Then they use a goat and a sheep there as well. Then umntwana usebona umfazi sefuna ukuyo lobola ashad. Right? You use a goat as well there for several rituals that are done towards a marriage.
Yeah.
Right? Then bese umntwana athenga umuzi, a house.
Yes.
Then sekumele awubike lo muzi, an announcement of the house.
Yes.
The goat comes in as well there.
Yes.
Then umntwana usenomuzi, right, grand, athenga imoto. Then usefuna ukubonga amadlozi for ihashi lensimbi, the car. Then
money
again,
yes.
you use the goat and you use the sheep there. Then umntwana abe nomntwana.
Yes.
Then the cycle begins again
Okay.
for that child.
Child.
Then he dies. At the funeral, it is a ritual. Remember? Ritual, thanking, and announcement.
Yes.
Then senza a ritual now yomngcwabo for this boy. Egodini uyangena, right?
Full circle of life.
And a year later, 12 months, senzani unveiling, where we are returning the spirit to his house, the one he bought, the one aibika. Again, the goat comes there, but there's a cow as well that accompanies, right?
Yes.
So I'm giving you a picture of everything that happens from childhood up until death.
Yes.
Now, there is something important there called Impepho.
Yes. Yes.
What is Impepho? Afrikaners call it koigoed. It's a plant.
Yes.
It grows everywhere in South Africa.
Yeah.
We use it and we burn it as incense. It helps us connect with the ancestors. Throughout this process, yokwenza izinto lezi zamadlozi, you have to use Impepho. Right. Now, there are 3 types of Impepho. Because people always ask me this. Impepho yasentabeni. You use this when you go to the mountain to speak to the ancestors, lawe kuthiwa amabutho, or the ancestors abaphelele entabeni, or abanikazi bentaba.
Yeah.
It's silverish, so like ngathi gray, light
Yes.
gray.
It's like perishing like the color corner.
Yeah. Then bese kuba khona impepho yamawele.
The one that I use.
What is impepho yamawele? Impepho yamawele, you use it if you are going to do umsebenzi and connect with more than one soul, one spirit. Hence kwamawele.
The way,
But
yes.
if nawe uyiwele,
Exactly.
yes,
Of
you
course.
can use it. Or kwakukhona amawele ekhaya. Right. Then bese kuba khona impepho yamanzi. This one you use if you're going to do anything that is related to water spirits.
Yes.
Amanda. But most of the time, impepho that everyone uses, and it's got those little yellow flowers.
Flowers.
Impepho yamawele. Because khathi we find ourselves kumele connected with many spirits.
Okay.
Sikhuluma namadlozi amaningi.
Okay.
When you're doing a traditional function, whether uyabiga, whether uyabonga, whether what was the third one? Still, uya announcer, uyabonga, or you're doing a ritual, there must always be a calabash.
This like konjibizwa nento ngizulu. Ukhamba, yes.
I don't know ngesuthu entswana. Calabash, and the calabash will have tinacity sizulu. Sokampia, umqombothi.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the clear signs ukuthi umsebenzi wakho is going well, you will see it foam at the top until it drips over. Then you know ukuthi they are happy. You put it there on a shrine, you can put candles, you can put the animal that you're going to slaughter or that you have slaughtered, and you can put other stuff like sweets, beer, and drinks.
Yeah.
When you're doing that function.
Yes.
Now, it is important to know ukuthi, where does Impepho sit? Where do you do a shrine when you are doing this function? Reason I'm saying this is, Tina, we grew up in the township, 4-room house, very small.
Emqashweni.
Do you understand? So Impepho is very, very holy, like.
Yes.
It sacred, that's the word.
Thank you.
So you can't put it in a bedroom where sometimes there's sexual activity.
The energy that is there.
Yeah, that sexual energy, there's a problem. Every time you listen Impepho, nothing happens for me. And you know, you've set up your shrine in the wrong place. So in a small place, like a small house, like in the township, 4-room houses, you can use the kitchen,
Okay.
or you can use the dining room, provided there are no hanky-panky happening in the dining room.
Yeah. Let's just entrust the people that, yeah. Like there's only one person who does that everywhere, man.
So please, guys, I'm not saying sex is wrong. I'm saying the energy that comes out from sex is not sacred, and it can cause problems.
Because the thing about it is that, a lot of us as like
Yes.
right, especially kukwini. Yes, like some of us mafletini, stuff like that. One thing that I know is that
Okay, that's
Yes.
a good question.
Yes, can you take us
Right.
through that?
So, people say you can't phahla emqashweni because your ancestors are not there. But there are ways, there are means for you to try and bring your ancestors there.
Yeah.
But the problem is if we room so, and there's also hanky-panky that happens there, it's not advisable for you to use that.
Yeah.
So rather go outside, hambis gangen, go to Entabeni, go to a park, go to the river, and go and light Impepho there and call upon your ancestors from there.
Mkulu, I'm sorry.
No, continue.
Mkulu, like where I stay right now, I switch on Impepho and like it was
Smoke.
like it was like just a lot.
Yeah.
And it ends up like affecting my clothes. My clothes end up like, smelling Impepho.
Yeah.
Are you able to read also Impepho? Like,
That's a good point. So
Yes.
sometimes, Paul, when you light Impepho
Yes.
and it doesn't light up,
Yes.
and people don't believe me, but it does happen. There's a problem there. There's a problem with your connection with your ancestors.
Also the candles, like when they don't switch on.
Yeah. Sometimes you haven't fasted. You can't, we are suga lapha nkosikazi, you still unuga into the nyenza, and you haven't cleansed, and you haven't prayed and asked to be cleansed, and you're now going to your shrine, and now you are going to your shrine and asking them for help, and then you think they're going to connect with you.
Yes.
Remember, it's sacred.
Yes.
I think Clifford wanted to say something.
Yes, like just make your point, and then like he wants to ask a question. So
Okay.
make your
All
point,
right.
and he'll
Yeah.
ask his question afterwards.
So sometimes it doesn't light up.
Yes.
Sometimes it lights up and it just goes boom, fire. Like, ungazi ukuthi where is this fire coming from?
Yeah.
Sometimes when that happens, it's anger
Whoa.
from the ancestors. Check what is it that they've been telling you in dreams, or mawuhambe uyohlola, and you are not listening. And they are trying to tell you that you need to do this, but you're not doing it. And then sometimes the smoke will just go all over the show, But that's not bad. But a really, really good sign, when you see the smoke from Impepho going up like a line, so
Yes.
like a thin line going up,
Yes.
then the ancestors are happy. Like you also feel this calm about it.
Yes, it's like so slow and smooth and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. What was your question, my brother?
So Mkhulu, you already dive into deep to Impepho. I wanted to stop you usakhuluma ngendaba yomsebenzi.
Yeah.
Because I just had a son, so
Hey, congratulations.
Congratulations to people!
It's another podcast member has been born.
So I'm based from Mpumalanga, so I went to Mpumalanga to kind of like find out about myself, who I am, and all of that. So because now I have a son, and I want my son to kind of like give a direction. So
Yes. Yes.
something like that.
Yeah.
So now I got to know that like Nomdeni own Kulisile is not actually like my family. It's my family, but not my family. Because like so Ubaba, it's like Ugogo. Who Dagatashati maybe one Lamin for instance. Mashati one Lamini and then Bab Lamin Ashon. Mashot Bab Lamin was the Babungwe.
Yes.
Babungwenya like Africa Achon Chukoko and
Right.
then that's how Baba
Was born. Right.
So now the problem is I can't find like ubabungwenya like umkhulu wami lona
The right one.
the right one.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
And now ngibiza isibongo lesi sikababudlamini because I can't biza lesibongo lesi sakangwenya because babungwenya kufanele ukuthi ungene isibayeni na 20 inkomo.
Yes.
Abadala bayibeka kanjani.
Yes.
So now it becomes hard for me with like communicating amadlozi because angazi ukuthi ngizobiza yiphi idlozi.
Yeah.
Because nalana ubabam like umkhulu lona umkhulu uzali babam angazi ukuthi ngizoqala ngibhekile nabantu abadala bathabaza ukuthi basiqala ngibhekile. So manje like I'm kind of like stuck anginalo i-cycle kababam when it comes to like ancestors. And now I have a son. I don't know ukuthi ngizomintroduce kanjani. How do I go about like genza lo msebenzi?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's a very good question. So actually, it makes sense now. One of the first things I picked up when I saw you was an old lady who's gifted. And you didn't know who she is that they were showing me. They were probably showing you someone Warangwenya that you don't know because you don't know that family. Now it makes sense. Because I always wondered, how come he didn't know that person they kept showing me? So, in Zulu, sibiza abantwana abazalwe in such an instance where ubaba zanga zahlawule and do everything right kuboma sibabiza ngomlandlwana. Now in this instance though angithi ugogo beshadile kaDlamini, so mayeshona lo ongenayo, there are traditional rituals that needed to be done so that uma ezokhishwa kaDlamini and then angene kaNgwenya, but that didn't happen. So technically ingane ephuma lapho your dad ibelonga kaDlamini.
Yeah.
But the problem is abakangwenya bayambanga ubaba and then it ends up going down the stream. Ugcine kwa wena ubangwa amadlozi. Unga understand ukuthi akubanga kwenze njani. Now one of the things you see mawubangwa amadlozi is that every time things are about to go well for you, they just pull back. Everything when is significant that you have been working on, an amazing project. Everybody says Clifford is brilliant. Clifford is brilliant.
He is. But
for some reason, Clifford is just not an executor. We don't know why. Because it was yabuya. A blessing comes and you can see it and then it goes back.
Sheesh.
Another sign is usually a mental health issue like depression. Because you've been pulled this way and this way and this way. And then basically this spiritual, now I call it spiritual depression, but when you'll think you really are depressed because life is not going according to your plan.
Yeah.
But now you have this inner drive to fix this for your son, which means amadlozi ati lungisa mkhulu. And have you ever dreamt of ingwen?
Crocodile.
Crocodile. Okay, it's fine. So I want to show you, Uguti, abantu bakangwenya, they are trying to bring you guys back into their stable from what went wrong with Ubaba. Because it is not a sin. Maybe it was a sin ukwenziwa ngendlela kwenzeka ngayo, but the child masifikile akukho wrong. Lo mntwana udesigned for a purpose. Ubabakho ufike nge-reason that is much deep.
Yeah.
Now, abantwana banjalo, because you can't get ongwenya, you don't know where they are.
Yeah.
It is critical for you to establish a home for yourself spiritually. And that home is your mother's side.
The La Costa's dog.
Do you understand?
We have shares there, bro.
Do you understand? So that's why babies are ngomlandjwana. So now you need to go back kuboma leli side lelakama wako. Kube yilona owenza khona umsebenzi for yourself nomntanakho. But if you can get abakangwenya, if you can mkhulu, then ngeke kumele ukhishwe ngala ngembuzi and then uyongeniswa ngala kangwenya ngembuzi wenzele imbeleko. What's critical ileyo mbuzi mkhulu, mawuthi nsenze imbuzi ekhaya or sheep, what's critical is the gallbladder. The gallbladder manigcotshwe ngayo is like a signature to say usungwenya ke manje mkhulu, fully and truly. Then all ingane zakho zizolandela, and yes there are other children mkhulu, zizobiza ongwenya ngendlela right.
Sir. Yes, sir. So real quick, Mkhulu, just as a side note, abantwana ababiziwa as umlanjwana. It means that basale balandwa. Then, I'm trying to be creative here, and I'm trying to make sense of the word umlanjwana.
The word umlanjwana, from my understanding, and I could be wrong, because I'm still searching for its history. But to me, it feels like ukulamba.
Oh, not umlanjwana.
Not ulandwa. Not ulambile umlanjwana, umuntu olambile. So ulambele ikhaya lakho okuyilona lona.
Yes.
But I'm going to find it for you,
okay,
and then I'll bring it back. But that's how I always feel.
Yes.
Yeah,
and then also on like one thing I like about Ontrifo's reading that you just did right now, again Islamic comes about. Right? No, like
the quote.
Yeah, masaka yamgelwa.
Yes.
Like a sarangwenya. Bro, we need to claim our shares at the La Costa Day, bro.
So cool. Like easy pendula can like kind of like fulfill me. But then mind you, like okay, aside in Lil Lamin, like Bankulisi. So I'm more like Mtana Kona, like sis Gawa. So my father is late, but then my aunt is still alive. So she's the one who's responsible for most of my stuff. So now, every time I'm communicating or something, I always communicate to her.
Yeah.
So now, are you trying to tell me that like I should just forget about that side when it comes to traditional stuff and focus on my mother's side?
No. So this is very, very sensitive, because now umntwana uyakwazi uku-adoptwa spiritually. So you will find ukuthi abantu bakaDlamini, ama ancestors bakaDlamini, have given you a lot as well, because they adopted your father, then you in turn wazalwa through them. But mina, I'm talking ukuthi from a DNA point of view, ubelonga kuphi. So what I would do if I were you, uklala phansi nabakaDlamini, the live one, and say sengilitholile iqiniso, and I'd like to know ukuthi what can I do, because I'm seeing ukuthi impilo yami is supposed to be here, but it's not here, because I am not calling upon the right ancestors. So I'd like to find out ukuthi mangenza umsebenzi, would it be okay if ngenza izinto esayidini lakama? Remember, all of you nonke niphuma kulela side lakama, angithi uDlamini is the paternal side, right? So mawuhamba uyolungisa izinto kama, you're not really far off, because bonke baphuma khona. But if ekhaya, and I always say it's important ukuthi ulalele bathini ekhaya. If ekhaya bethe Clifford ungayenzi leyo nto wena mawufuna ukwenza imbeleko yenzela ekhaya, then you don't have a choice. However, if you tell them, Guti, for the past 3 months, angilali ebusuku, ngipupha abantu bakangwenya, or ngipupha abantu bakama sibongo sakama, but, then you don't have a choice but to listen to the ancestors, because it's a gamble. You can continue Dlamini, but Dlamini might not get you to the true level that you are meant to be. Abantu bakangwenya, because they are your blood, they may get you to the level that they want you to.
Sir.
But abantu bakama wako, esathi umaka baba, esathi lakama, esathi lakama wako. Yeah. Not umaka baba, sorry. Esathi lakama wako. Omalume lapho. Those are people that you know, dark or blue. This is my family. There's a joke that people normally say, Guti, the mauhlel nabantu bakamalume, you know for sure what these people are related to you, because it's pumaruma hang it song, it's sweet.
Yes.
But ubaba, sometimes it can be shady. Guti, ubaba ngempela inihlobo zami ngempela is now. So that side of the family, the maternal side, is much stronger when it comes to caring and taking care of your needs. In fact, abaziyo, bati, izinto that are like a house, a home, a job which is going to feed you. Abantwana, they normally come from the maternal side. It's a gift that comes from ogogo bagama. Then everything else comes from Oba. So, mina, I'm saying to you, Clifford, ungavani nje ufike manje uyodrop i-bombshell.
Yeah.
Because uzozicabanisa basekhaya. That's why I get to this is sensitive. And I'm saying this because I recently went through it myself when I discovered in 2019, oh, my dad didn't pay damages for me. Because my grandmother from my mother's side, Okoba, kept fighting me in dreams. And I didn't understand why. Because mina ngikhule kasish, ngikhuliso ubaba kasish. Kanti ubaba did not pay damages for me, which means ngipilonga kagoba. So ugogo, my mom's mom, showed amandla akhe on me. She took everything, Clifford.
The Mercedes, bruh.
Everything from me. Right? Then I caved in. Ngahamba ngayoxolisela bakasish esayidini lakama. But before I did that, Clifford, ngifonele u-aunt ekhaya kasish. Angithi ngikhule khona. And I said, "Auntie, ngicela ungitshele kahle yazi ngifuna ukuzwa ngani." Ngithi mina ngiphupha kanje ubaba, my late father uthi, "Did you guys not pay damages for me, kagogo?" And the aunt was like, "Hey, yazi mlungisi. Yeah, ungathi impela kwenze kanjalo mfana wami." Damn. You get what I'm saying? So now, sengibangwa amadlozi. Because sosishi they are saying ukuthi but sikhulisile. Umfana wethu. So the same will happen to you. Odlamini bazothi but sikhulisile Clifford. Ingane yethu. Why usilahla? So when you do this, you have to be tactical. Usebenzise ulimi lobsoka. Ungathi mawukhuluma namadlozi because kumele ubabize nabo Dlamini because nabo they adopted you. Kumele ubabize nabo ngwenya because they are in your blood. But hierarchy is important. Kumele uqale ngabaka mama ubabiza abakini. Then bese uthi ngicela ukuthi ngireporte or ngiphathwe abakama because ibona abangiphethe. But angisho ukuthi ngiyanixosha nina bodlamini nongwena. Engikushoyo ngithi sebenzisanani ndawonye ukuze izinto zami zilunge. But before you do that, Clifford, kumele uhloniphe umuntu omdala ukhulume nabasekhaya bakadlamini. Uthi nansi into ephumayo ngicela ningisize. Ngenze njani? Kube i-idea ephuma kubona. Bazokutshela bathi no mfana wami hamba uye komalume. Yonke into oyenzayo manje uyenzele komalume. Yabo mina I'm divorced. Unkosikazi wami oqala wangeniswa kasishi. But for years I kept having a recurring dream. Gogo basekhaya kagoba eMaritzburg bememeza in my ear in a dream. Bethi thina okusalayo somthola umakoti wethu. And I didn't understand. And I'm like, but I'm married. What are you guys talking about? And they would repeat, okusalayo thina sizomthola umakoti wethu. Then we divorced, no ex-wife yami. Obengene kasish. Manje sengitholile ukuthi angihlawulanga. So manje njengoba ngishada again with my Tswana wife. Yes ukuthi uyongena kuphi? Uyongena kama.
Yes sir.
Useyongena kagoba manje.
Yeah.
Umesisishi but technically umesisigoba.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because ngiphethwe abakama. That way ngifixa the wrongs of the past. Another way I could have done it, I could have said, oh, okay, ngicela ukwenza umsebenzi wokukhishwa kagoba ngingene properly kasishi. Ngithole ubamncane ahamba yongihlawula what my dad should have done. Then because angikwazi ukuyihlawula mina. Because if ngiyihlawula futhi ngayizala phela. Mele that's another complication Clifford. Lento mele ilungisa abantu abadala, mele uthola abakangwenya ke manje beze lapha kini. Yabo nje it's very complex. Kanti you need to look at ukuthi so far in my life ubani obengiphethe. Ubani onginikeze all the luck and my blessings. Then besulungisela bona. Then-ke bese izinto njengoba ngithi mina manje I'm getting married again and I'm doing izinto the right way. Umakoti ungena kagoba manje. Lokho kwakushiwo ogogo ngishadile beshe endlebeni yami ngilele bethi bazomthola umakoti wabo. Sebemtholile nangu. Uyongena kuphi? Uyongena kagogo.
Yeah.
When this whole thing climatized and it get to a point where it was a climax now, I lost everything. I lost my career. I lost my house. I lost my money. I lost my car. I lost everything. Even abantu abahlolayo angakutshela unkosikazi nangu. Mina bengena abantu abawu2 ngenyanga bezohlola. 2 people. Manje sengihlolela 2 people a night.
Hectic.
Because sengene kule ndawo right, sengihamba nogoba ukuyibona bangiphethe. Yabona leyo nto. 2 people a month versus 2 people a night. Completely different story. That's why ngihlale ngithi kubantu uthola ukuthi problem yakho ivimbephi. What is this boulder that is stopping you? So when usutholile ukuthi oh okay, ubaba ubeyivezandlebe ngesiZulu sithi vezandlebe. But not really because umkhulu beseshonile. But anyways, so vezandlebe ke la kaDlamini wakangwe. But abakangwenya ubazi and you don't even know ukuthi ubani uzoqala. But you know ukuthi amadlozi ayakubanga. You've seen ama signs lawe engiwashoyo. So then report kundawo right, which is your mom's side.
Right. You know, I feel like we've dived much more deeper on Clifford's matter.
Yes, we have.
It's like,
But we'll talk some more, Clifford. But
please book your appointment, bro.
but,
Like your
but
session.
I just need you to just try for 3 days. Ulayitha amakhandlela nje awu3 mkhulu. Eli yellow, eli blue, eli white. Uthi mawukhuluma uqale ngoNkulunkulu. Mina ngiyangicela ukuthi uNkulunkulu akangene. Mase amadlozi too much, God can intervene. Ucela uNkulunkulu thangenelele empilweni yakho a sort out le fight yalamadlozi. Then bese uthi amen. Khuluma noNkulunkulu. Then bese ukhuluma namadlozi. Ubiza omkhulu, ubiza ogogo, izibongo zonke. Bese uyasho ukuthi uClifford bani, uzala uma, uzala ubaba, ushamagama mani ubaba. Bese ubiza laba abamhlophe, ubiza laba abakhanyayo, ubiza laba abageziwe. Because ufunani? Ufuna kuze to the 4 amadlozi right. Then bese uyasho ukuthi sengizwile ukuthi niyalwa. Sengilizwile iqiniso nongwenya abakhona lana bengingazi. Manje ifight yenu you are ruining my life. Ngicela niyeke ukulwa ngala makhandlela ngiyanihlanganisa. Ngicela okungcono nize kumina niyimbumba, nize kumina nizongisiza so that my life can go forward. Then bese ke uthi thokozani thobela ngiyabonga. Then you're done with speaking to amadlozi. Then you go back to God. And God is Alpha and Omega. You start with God, you close with God. Then you finish your prayer. Then you switch off the candles. You don't blow them, switch them off. Day 1. Day 2, same thing. Day 3, same thing. But on day 3, don't switch them off. Leave them until they finish. Please don't leave the candles next to a curtain. Don't start a fire in the house.
Yes.
Leave them in a very safe space. In that 3 days, you will have dreams. These are critical to me because I understand dreams. Paul must give you my number. Send me your dreams. I'll tell you what's happening. I'll tell you what the response is. Like we were talking in the episode Yesimos, Africa. You must also see positive signs. Which, am I going in the right direction or am I messing up? Sometimes when you touch something, things go awry and you know which things are bad. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Not everyone handles Impepho ekhaya. That is critical.
Yes.
There are rules around that.
Because like they say that women are not supposed to switch on Impepho.
Yes. So, ekhaya, there must be someone who has been designated to be the one who will speak Impepho.
It's more like an elder. So.
Usually, kuba inkosana.
Inkosana.
Yeah,
What
like
does that mean?
the firstborn.
Okay.
But there is inkosana, firstborn, then there's indlalifa.
The last one.
No, not necessarily.
Second one.
Indlalifa is someone that's been recognized by yidlozi to be the one who's going to be responsible for the matters of spirit in this house. They look at, because sometimes you find that the firstborn is irresponsible. Uyadawa, uyaphuza, uthanda abantu besifazane, you know, akusazi ukuthi kwenzakalani ngempilo yakhe.
Yes.
Then yidlozi is not going to choose that person to be the one who's going to burn Impepho. Then they choose indlalifa, the one who is always the one othi mayithola umsebenzi la ekhaya afakele umama tiles, the one who's building a boundary wall, while others bayazidla imali zabo and they are selfish with it. But there's this one person in the family who's responsible. Usually the ancestors choose that person, him as indlalifa, as the one okumele akhulume empephweni. Now, others will say to you, umuntu ongathadelwe, which is someone who's not married yet, can't speak empephweni.
Yes.
But you do find people who can speak empephweni even though they haven't gotten married.
Yeah.
So why am I saying what the ancestors will choose this person? I'm saying this because if you're the wrong person to burn Impepho, things will go wrong. Others, they react immediately, and muntu ope, come out blood,
yes.
Nosebleed,
Mm.
and like a really bad nosebleed. Then you know you're not supposed to touch Impepho. It's not supposed to be you. There's someone that needs to be chosen to burn Impepho.
Yes.
Women are not allowed, but it does happen in cases where maybe now this family there's only female. But the rules are she can't face Impepho. NgesiZulu siyasithi umuntu wesifazane ugovozile uvule imlenze.
Oh.
Which is disrespectful to our ancestors.
Yes.
Ngeke uzufike wena umuntu wesifazane uzogovozela amadlozi. So
Don't go for
but the vagina is facing amadlozi. So
the gates of heaven.
So rather you sit on a chair and face the other way.
Yeah.
Or take a child, a boy child ekhaya, ozelwe. Uzothola ukuthi kuzoba khona umfana ozozalwa. That boy umbeke laphana umtshela ukuthi akakhulume athi. Mayikhulume empephweni.
Yes.
Now, others are going to say, but mkhulu mina mesangoma. I'm gifted. Why can't I speak empephweni yasekhaya?
Yes.
You can speak empephweni yakho esigodlweni sakho.
But not yasekhaya.
Not yasekhaya.
Yes.
There has to be rules ekhaya ukuthi who goes empephweni. Remember what I was saying earlier? Rules of where Impepho must be because it's sacred. It can't just be anywhere. Then there's another complexity with Impepho. Sometimes you find houses where the spiritual framework, umsamo of the family, is slanted, imbalanced. Because kono wahamba wayo phehla amanzi amnyama, which means they went emathuneni and did something that is bad to make amadlozi only bless him and none of the family members. When that happens, when you light Impepho, you might end up calling amadlozi apedal. Sometimes it's a scenario where kukhona othwele ekhaya uneyilwane lezi ehamba la egcekeni that bring him money. When you light Impepho, you are calling on lezo yilwane not amadlozi.
Yes.
Now, in such instances, you will hear people say, every time I light Impepho, things just go haywire. In such cases, get a glass of water. Use that as an element of connecting with your ancestors. Put it right there at the bottom next to your candles. And then you can use it as Impepho. And it's enough. Or just fix the problem. So how do you fix the problem? Gezwa kwamadlozi, which is in Tlambuluko.
But Mkhulu, why are women not allowed, to use Impepho? I think like you wanted to dive deeper in it. Like, is it only because of you cannot open the gates of heaven to the ancestors? Like, what is that factor that is making women? Of course, there are those who get to be chosen, right, according to their gift. In most cases, like, for example, I'm the only boy in my mom's house.
Yes.
And worse, a last born, right? So at least I'm there, But like my twin sister always has a question of saying, what if mina ngifuna ukusiphahlela and then uphola akekho oseDubai. How do I then go about that?
Okay, all right. So let me first answer your first question.
Yes, why are women not allowed?
Firstly, me personally, I don't agree with it.
Yes.
I believe we are all spiritual beings and there's nothing wrong with a woman being Impepho.
Yes.
But the main reason that they avoid this is because women are receivers. And women carry, it's easy for a woman to come into umsamo while carrying sexual spirits from lawa bekade phambana nomuntu wesilisa kugcine sekukhoza ama-problems la emsamo kungcone umsamo out of the blue. Sometimes a woman will be on her period and she doesn't even know that it's begun. So people always ask me, are you saying Mkhulu, when a woman is on her period she's dirty? No, she's not dirty. But a woman has an ability to bring spirits into this world. And once a month, that gate opens. So you don't know what she's carrying and what she's opening up.
This is also why men shouldn't have sexual intercourse with women during their period.
Yes.
Ooh.
Because the gate is open during that period. So it's not good if women are dirty or no, it's just a matter of spiritual ties, complexities that can happen if you go and connect with amadlozi. We don't know what you're carrying. That's why even if umuntu eza esigodlweni sami and athi we period yakhe siyamgcoba nge-cloth salt enyaweni nezandla. So I repeat, it's not to say they are dirty. Look at what happens with Muslim funerals.
Yes.
Women are not allowed in Matunen. They don't go there.
Why is that?
Because they might carry something or they might get something from there and come back with it.
Oh, yes.
So it's like that in Islam. I believe Hindus as well.
Yes.
There's a part where females do not go there anymore. Like, because females have this power and this gift of carrying a spirit from the spirit world into the physical world.
Yeah. I hear you, Mkhulu. Oh, man. And then back to Ilwane, right?
Oh, yeah, sorry. The second question, what happens if you are in Dubai and she really, really needs to speak Impepho?
Yes.
If she can't get something, we call it Usbongo Fanana, someone or Ramahlasela or umuntu wesilisa who can come and speak on her behalf, Impepho. If it's like really, really, really urgent, she can light Impepho, but angasondeli yo.
So, and then how does she sit? Like, Ukhlaba?
She can kneel, it's fine.
Okay.
She can kneel, it's fine. I mean, I don't agree with Lento Govoza, to be honest with you.
Or how about putting, half salt, as you said, like to protect?
No. She can just stand like maybe a meter or 1.5 meter away from Impepho and then akulum.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear you. Talking about Impepho Yamawele.
Yes, good.
I use it because of Nyawele, right?
Yes.
Normal people, are they supposed to, okay, like by normal people, those who are not twins.
Twins, yeah.
Kind of like the normal Impepho, the one where like the yellow or just small yellow flower. Isn't the one that they're supposed to use like the normal Impepho?
So remember, with Impepho Yamawele, we are trying to speak to Amadlozi, Agasishi, and Awagagoba at the same time.
Oh, yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Amawele in that sense.
Oh, yes.
Because you are accessing more than one level of spirit.
Okay, cool.
That's why they always say abantu rather use Impepho Yamawele.
Yes. And like people, once they use Impepho Yamawele, one thing I know for sure, their dreams open up.
Yes.
The dreams really open up. And then that part scares them. It's fine. I think we are well covered with the part of Impepho Yamawele. Can we go back to Ilwane, just a bit?
Imbuzi.
You spoke a lot about Imbuzi, right?
Yeah.
I know for sure Mayans in Belego use Imbuzi, right? Imvu, like, when do you use Imvu?
No. Imvu is used by different tribes.
Oh, yes.
So, like, Xhosas will use Imvu.
Imvu. Yes.
Tswana people, they will use Imvu.
Imvu, yes.
But you will find every once in a while, that even as a Zulu or Ndebele or what,
Yes.
or Swati, amadlozi will come and say to you, we need you to slaughter a sheep. A sheep is an animal that is peaceful. Even Maui cleans we Buddha like
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah. Because I know that because of like the last time we did Imbelego Giti, like for Mahlasela side,
Yeah.
we use the sheep.
Yeah. So sometimes they'll say, if you want to do Intlambulugo, please use a sheep because you are bringing peace into the family.
Yes. And then when do you use inkomo? Is it only Mashata Pela or what's happening? Like when we use inkomo? Because of inkomo, I know according to the hierarchy of animals, is the biggest animal and it's meant for bigger occasions.
Yeah. So inkomo is used for bigger occasions. So like umshado, umngcwabo, unveiling, what else? So you're now going big. Kona something that is called Isihlangu. So you wait 12 months and then you have an unveiling for a male or the owner of the house, Baba Wekai. Then another 12 months passes. Others, they say 2 years. Then you do what is called Isihlangu, which is almost like a celebratory function celebrating Impilo, the life of our father who once lived. It is not supposed to be a sad occasion. That's why we wait years until people get over the death of the father. Then they do Isihlangu for Ruba.
What is Isihlangu Mkulu? So
Isihlangu is
like the death of the father, meaning like an elder in the family.
So if your father had a house, right?
Yes.
And now he's dead.
Yes.
You do a funeral.
Yes.
Then you do an unveiling where we ambuyisa the spirit into the home.
Yes.
Then you do Isihlangu, which is a remembrance for him.
Yes.
Yeah. But Isihlangu is shoe.
Yeah. Like Islam is Xhosa for sure. Yes.
Yeah.
I get you. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. You know, like that, those mkulu, abathanda ukuhlaba, abathanda ukubonga. Hey, can we speak about that? Because I once watched an episode on yidlozi where this lady, man, bekathanda ukubonga, man. And then every time it's like every year, like she'll find a reason for ukuhlaba.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Can we also address that? Because of like, according to the episode, Sis Thembi was just like telling us to say, guys, akumelanga uvele uhlabe kuphela kuphela man ngoba yisilwane lesi ngoba ilwane like isigqwala in the spiritual realm and then uthi idlozi lona lizinzeni futhi idlozi ubani uthi idlozi lona uthi uhlabe na that kind of thing like that. So right now you're just telling us ukuthi uhlaba nini uhlaba makenze kanjani on which occasion, right?
Yes.
Can you just speak on nento le abantu ababongayo, man?
Yeah, so other people, I mean, I'm going to tell you my personal observation from my experience. Other people will tell you that it's wrong to always hlaba.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is you are creating an expectation in the ancestral realm that you are going to do this every time.
Yes.
Now, when you go through problems financially one day in life and then you don't do it, it's going to be a problem from your ancestors because they're expecting it now. So it's not right to hlabe all the time. 1. 2, it is critical for you to see that this is now required. So you need to do something like have a Thanksgiving, but you don't do a Thanksgiving every year now.
Yeah.
If you do it all the time, sometimes it becomes suspect because a lot of people that abatwele, those that went and did what is it called? I don't know what's the English word for uktwala, man. But it's like I always say, you're selling yourself to the devil.
Yeah.
There's usually requirements for blood there.
Yes.
Isluane wants blood. So there are people who slaughter every month.
Yeah, every month, all the time.
There are those who slaughter every quarter. There are those who slaughter every year. And apparently, Sluane, as time goes on, it wants more.
Yes.
And then it ends up wanting a human blood. Then what are you going to do? So it becomes very suspicious when Anjalo, Wena Paul,
yeah,
hayi, wena njalo nje, there's always a function kwakho yenyama.
Hi guys, no.
Yeah. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Rather than doing it every year.
Yeah.
Because it creates an expectation in the ancestral realm. Go to, oh, okay, we now know that she's going to do this every year. So I would rather you do it like, yeah. Or maybe do it once every 5 years. Because maybe every 5 years there's something you need to celebrate.
Yes. As
No, some people, Mpo, they are grateful, eh? Some people mean well. Others will say, but when it comes to church, we give a tithe every Sunday. Why can't we give some form of tithe to our matlos? You know?
that's true.
Some people do that,
Yeah,
you know.
that's true.
But the concept of tithe is different. It doesn't mean Uguti, now you must give a matlos a tithe.
Yeah.
Tithe was done by Melchizedek in the Bible.
Yeah, man.
Well, not him, Abraham
Yeah.
to Melchizedek.
Hey, man, it's really important that we keep notes of these things and we are very careful of these things. There must be a reason why I'm I think just to pose question or to pose point, yes, other people like me, we also mean well. You know, I once said that thing for me personally to say, yo, man, I really want to be appreciative and show my gratitude. So being for now, we get some savings all the time, every year. But up until I had realized to say, no, bro, you cannot. You know, always be thanking. You cannot create any expectation. It's very important because that revelation came to watching that episode, Yidlozi Lamb, you know. So it's that kind of thing, like it's those kind of things. Man, oh man, we've come to the end of the episode. I hope you enjoyed it as we enjoyed making it for you. Thank you again for subscribing. Thank you again for following us. If you haven't subscribed, make sure that you do subscribe. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for engaging with us. Make sure that you follow us on TikTok because that's where we post most of our short form content. Next year, we have bigger plans. The year is approaching towards its end. It's November now, you know, and I have to say, Mkhulu, you know, we've had a good run.
Yes,
and like even if like we started, you know, very small beginnings, look at us now. We are shooting this episode at Ntozethu BNB. It's located in Orlando East. We are very grateful to the owners of Ntozethu for allowing us, you know, the luxury and the privilege for us to use their venue. We are slowly but surely, as I always say, slowly but surely improving the podcast. We really want to make this an institute. First, we hope for it to employ us and then employ other people. And I know it's going to happen, Mkhulu.
Yes,
so thank you so much, Mkhulu, for your patience. Thank you, Mkhulu, for, you know, like for your input. Thank you so much, Mkhulu, for your commitment. Thanks to the team, Mpho, Malwande, Clifford, for always coming to as a guest. Shout out to you, my brother. Thank you, Buhle. Thank you to Thabo for joining us on the last episode at like with Simos Africa. We're going to be using their Simos gel. I'm going to tell you guys about the results. When I start growing, guys, I'm not using memes. Okay? I'm going to be, I'm going to be, just know that it's not the money, but the money is also coming, man.
Yes.
Thank you so much, guys. I feel like I'm very appreciative, Mkhulu. Looking at where we are right now.
Yeah.
And thank you, guys. You guys got us to 1,000 subscribers. And ever since we've been to 1,000 subscribers, the growth is like rapid now. We got into 1,300, 1,400 like subscribers within like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we only did one episode. The one like we did the last time, episode number 9.
Yes.
The growth was just hectic, rapid. Thank you for your support, man. Next year we're coming with bigger plans. I'm not going to announce it as yet, but it's going to be exciting. If you want to reach out to Mkhulu, I'm going to drop down the details to his WhatsApp numbers where you can book him for a consultation session. You can tell him your dreams. Please use this opportunity now, guys, because next year we're going to come up like with a different model. You know, you guys will actually have to subscribe, pay like a subscription fee in order to get access to Mkhulu. Kindly Mkulu is kindly busy, managing his 9 to 5 and managing this podcast and also managing the consultation sessions, the spiritual work that he has to do. So please use this opportunity now to save his numbers and also follow us. Because, man, by next year, we're coming with bigger plans and bigger, greater things. December, I wanted to speak about that. That time when Thabo was here. An idea came to me. I don't know if I should say it's a revelation or an idea that in December we should do our first event featuring Thabo.
Okay.
Where people at least get to see you live.
Yes.
And then they get to engage with us and us, and they get to ask, their questions. We're going to start it like very small and very intimate. We don't want it to be big. We're going to start off with 20 to 50 people. It's going to be like some sort of like a workshop. So only the chosen ones are going to be there.
Yeah.
So, but we're going to speak about it maybe after the podcast, plan it properly. But I forgot to mention it during the podcast we did with Thabo, the Simos Africa guy.
Yeah.
I was supposed to announce it then. Just that like when we're shooting, my mind will be operating, behind the scenes. I'm thinking about behind the scenes, the team. I'm thinking about everything. I also need to connect this, the sound, host, and everything.
Yes.
But, I had a revelation that, December, we're going to find a day December where we do this event where people get an opportunity to meet Umkulu in person, face to face, and then they get to ask their questions, whether it's a question about their dreams or question of their current situation. So we're going to be doing live readings, at that very moment. It's going to be very accessible. We're going to plan it properly. We're going to come back on the next episode to tell you more about it. Make sure you get, you stay tuned for that. For me, from the team, to you, we love you. Thank you for watching this.
So, son.